With the newly conquered empire, Rome's concerns turned from taking control of other countries to more internal problems. Many different reasons contribute to this, but the Roman population was decreasing, which led to other problems. This graph here shows the population of Rome over a long period of time. As you can see, there's a huge dip in the 3rd century, continuing well into the next millennium. The next few slides will attempt to explain this dip. As early as the 160 CE, a plague ran rampant through Rome for 15 years, killing a huge percentage of its population. An ancient source tells of how 2,000 people would die each day in the capital for an indeterminate period of time. Another factor contributing to depopulation was poverty. As Rome's economic situation got worse, Rome started to tax more. This was a problem for a lot of poor farmers who couldn't afford to lose any more money, prompting some of them to move to cities, becoming the urban poor. This led to underproduction of agricultural production, leading to less people getting fed. This, in turn, discouraged people from having children, thus lowering the population even further. Ancient Rome had one of the most impressive armies at its peak, allowing it to conquer most of the Mediterranean. This impressive army eventually became undisciplined and ineffective, and became one of the key factors in the Western Roman Empire's downfall. As the Roman population decreased, its army started to lack new recruits. Since Rome controlled vast territories at the time, its army needed to be equally big. Without the people, there was no army. To compensate for this, Rome started to hire Germanic tribesmen to fill in the missing spots. Soon, the army would be about half barbarians and half citizens. This led to a few problems. The Roman military strategy was vastly different from the barbaric one, requiring great discipline in numbers. This was something the barbarians were not used to, and barbarian legions were often under Roman command. These legions were largely ineffective for this reason. This allowed the invading barbarians to defeat the undisciplined Roman army on numerous occasions, despite being outnumbered and out-equipped. While armies can be replenished, there were reasons why the Roman army couldn't get back to its former greatness. The previously mentioned Roman military strategy required great discipline and training. This would obviously take a lot of time and money to get a fully functioning Roman soldier. Yet, since Roman cut spending for the armies, and the barbarians were overpowering the frontier, soldiers would often be sent out with very minimal training, and therefore be very ineffective. This army would just keep depleting all of its resources until Rome finally just collapsed.
While the military was costing the government more money, they were also not making as much money for the government as they used to. When Rome was conquering more land, they were benefiting economically from this, gaining land, materials, taxes, and labor. Since the army was no longer expanding Roman territory, they stopped having an inflow of these resources, losing the benefits this provided. On top of losing these benefits, the coins in Rome no longer contained a large amount of silver and gold, and the coins were no longer worth what they were previously. More and more alloy was added into the silver coins. Walbing states that the quality of silver coins deteriorated so rapidly that they were very soon no more than silver-washed bronze. The value of the coins continued to decline. Because of the worth of coins were decreasing, prices on normal supplies and things being sold were increasing in value. The rich also had to pay taxes as well as the poor because of the lack of money at the time. Senators were taxed in money, but they were also taxed in food and other supplies. In order to pay taxes, some peasants ended up selling their kids.